Hi guys. Today I'll be teaching you the Ortega method for 2x2. Ortega is an intermediate method which can easily take you to sub 5 and beyond. I wouldn't really consider it a completely separate method from LBL. Really, it's just an add-on with 3 new algorithms, but what it allows you to do is have much easier starts. So why should you learn Ortega instead of layer by layer? So the steps for Ortega are to build a face, and then to do your OLL, and then do PBL, which is one algorithm. And really the advantage over LBL is that you have much easier starts. You have so many more options when you're starting your solve. So for example, at my first competition, I had a scramble like this, where I had an entire orange face already built. So orange is already done, but if you notice, it's not an orange layer. So while these two are correct, these two match up, these over here won't work for a layer. So I have an orange face, but not an orange layer. And what this allows me to do with the Ortega method is I can go straight into my OLL and then do my PBL. So just 2 algorithms to finish the whole solve. But if I were to do LBL instead, I would have to waste time by fixing this layer, and then do OLL, and then do PLL. So it'd be an extra step. So in this case here, I was just lucky and I was able to do OLL like this, and then just finish it off with Ortega's new algorithms. So let's get into those. OLL is just the exact same as LBL, so I'm not going to go over those, but PBL is 3 new algorithms, and they're pretty easy, so I'll just go over those first. So there are 3 new cases. There's adjacent swaps in both the top layer and the bottom layer. So you have headlights here, headlights here. These 2 pieces need to switch. So this needs to come here and this needs to come here. And then same thing on the bottom. This needs to come here, this needs to come here. So if you have 2 adjacent swaps like this, adjacent swap here, you hold your headlights, so all your solved headlights in the back. So your headlights are facing in the back. And then the algorithm is just R2, U prime, R2, U2, rotate to the right, and then do R2, U prime, R2. And that solves the whole cube. So the next case you can get is this right here. So you have headlights on the top, so it's an adjacent swap, because this piece here needs to switch with this piece here. So these 2 need to switch, that's an adjacent swap. And on the bottom you have a diagonal swap, because this piece here, this corner needs to switch with this corner over here. So adjacent swap on the top, diagonal swap on the bottom. The way you can tell that really fast is just look for headlights. If you have headlights, you know you have an adjacent swap. If you don't have headlights, then you don't have it. Then you have a diagonal swap. So I see headlights here, I know that's an adjacent swap. On the bottom, I don't see any headlights, so I already know that's a diagonal swap. So adjacent swap on the top, diagonal swap on the bottom. So I'm just going to hold my headlights facing me like this. Headlights are facing me, and then the algorithm is just R, U prime, R, F2, R prime, U, R prime. And that solves the whole cube. So now the last case that's unique to Ortega is just very simple. It's just this right here. So diagonal swap on both the top and the bottom layers. So I see no headlights anywhere. So no headlights on the top and no headlights on the bottom. So I know I have diagonal swap on both the top and bottom layers. So now all I have to do is just 3 moves. So R2, F2, R2. And that solves the whole cube. You can also get cases kind of like this. So let's say you finish your yellow face. So you made your yellow face, you're going to do your OLL, so that's just as soon. You solve your OLL, and you notice that you get a PLL skip on the top. So if this happens, you can just rotate. So make sure you just rotate so the solved layer is on the bottom, like this. Rotate so your layer is on the bottom, and then you just solve it like you would for LBL. So you look for headlights, the headlights are right here. So hold them off to the left, so headlights face the left, and then you do a J perm. So it's the exact same as LBL, just R, U, R prime, F prime. Sexy move, R prime, F, R2, U prime, R prime. And that solves the cube. It's the same thing if you have a Y permutation like this. So let's say you make your yellow face, it's a diagonal swap. So you solve your OLL like this, and now you get a PLL skip like this. So now you just rotate so your solved layer is on the bottom, so your solved layer is on the bottom, and then you just solve it like you would for LBL. So just no headlights anywhere. So you have a diagonal swap, so you just do a Y permutation. So it's just F, R, U prime, R prime, U prime, R, U, R prime, F prime, and then this OLL here, which is just sexy sledge. So sexy move, and then sledgehammer. So R prime, F, R, F prime, and then adjust the top face. So let me give you some example solves now. Okay. So in this case here, I'm just going to go for a red face. So I have these 2 already here, And I noticed that I can join these two corners up together with one U move. So if I do a U, then this sticker here, this red sticker will line up with this red sticker. And then I can just bring those two down to match with these two to make my face. Keep in mind, I guess a little fun fact about Ortega is that the average move count for a face is under 3 moves. So if you're efficient and you're really intuitive, then you can solve your face in an average of under 3 moves. And no case takes more than 5 moves. So really be on the lookout for easy cases. So just like this, I can solve my red face in 2 moves. So if I do U to join these two up, and then an R, that makes my full layer. Or not my layer, sorry, just my face. So now I have my face built, I'm going to do my OLL. So that's just this case right here. So I just do F, R, U prime, R prime, U prime, R, U, R prime, F prime. And now I see these two on the top, they're headlights. So just by seeing that, I immediately know that I'm adjacent swap on top. And then I'm adjacent swap on the bottom too. So I'm just going to bring these two headlights to match with these two headlights. So like this. So I have my headlights in the back. So both of these sets of headlights are facing the back. And the algorithm is just the same one. It's just the one you use for adjacent swap on the top and the bottom. So it's just R2, U prime, R2, U2, rotate to the right, R2, U prime, R2. And then adjust the top face like this. So next scramble. Oh, wow. I almost shot my cube. Okay, so in this case, I have a 3-move white face. I noticed that I have these two already made, so I have half the face already built. Notice that this wouldn't be half a layer because these two don't match up. The red doesn't match the orange. And that's why Ortega is so good. It gives you so many more options and flexibility when you start out. Because if I had something like this, I couldn't take advantage of it if I used LBL. But with Ortega, I can take advantage of it. And that's the big advantage to Ortega. It just gives you so many more easy starts. So I notice I have this white corner here and this white corner here. So right here and right here. If I do an R prime, U2, R prime, that makes my face. And now I just do OLL. So it's the same case I had last time, just this one right here. So F, R, U prime, R prime, U prime, R, U, R prime, F prime. And now I notice that I have a PLL skip on top. So since I have a PLL skip, I just rotate so my solved layer is on the bottom. So my solved layer is on the bottom, and I just solve this like I would for LBL. So I have no headlights on the top, so I know it's a diagonal swap, so I just do a Y perm. So F, R, U prime, R prime, U prime, R, U, R prime, F prime, and then this OLA here, which is just sexy sledge. So sexy move, sledgehammer, and then adjust the top face. So the biggest tip I can give you for Ortega is just when you're solving your face, make sure you take note of what kind of face you have on the bottom. So let me give you one more scramble and I'll show that to you. So one more scramble. Okay, in this case here, I'm just going to do yellow, but I'm going to keep in mind that it's just a yellow layer. So I'm just going to solve the yellow layer, go to OLL, so solve OLL, and then solve PLL. So in this case, it was just an LBL solve. So let me give you another example that really helps show what I'm talking about. Okay, in this case here, I'm going to make a red face. So I noticed that I have these two already built, so that's half the face already done. I can join these two red stickers up with one move. So R prime, U, R2 would solve my red face. But before I make that face, I should pay attention to what kind of face I'll have when I'm done. So the 3 kinds of faces are a full layer built, or an adjacent swap, or a diagonal swap. So before you make your face, you should know what kind of face you're actually building. And what that allows you to do is after you solve your OLL, you don't have to waste time recognizing both the top and the bottom layers, because you already know what the bottom layer is going to be. So I'm just going to make this really fast. Okay, I know it's going to be an adjacent swap when I'm done. So like this. So like I said, I have headlights in the back, so it's an adjacent swap. So now I go on to OLL, so it's just an anti-zoom. And now just by looking at the top layer, I don't even need to look at the bottom, but just by looking at the top layer, I know what case I have, because I have these two in the back, which are headlights. So I know I have headlights on top, I just saw that. And then I recognize from the, I remember from the beginning that I have headlights in the bottom too. So this case is just 2 adjacent swaps, so headlights go in the back, and then R2, U prime, R2, U2, rotate to the right, R2, U prime, R2, and that solves the cube. So just make sure you keep note of what kind of face you're actually making, because that cuts down on your recognition time. Because instead of recognizing 2 layers at once, you only have to recognize what kind of swap you have for the top layer. So that's all you need to know for the Ortega method. It's an intermediate method, which is pretty good. It can definitely take you to sub 5. So hopefully this video was helpful. If you have any questions or suggestions for future video, leave those in the comment, and I'll get back to those. So thanks for watching. Bye.